Hi dear friends, welcome back to online classes. I am Vipoksha BP. In today's class, we are going to discuss about azeotropes and colligative properties of dilute solutions. First, let us discuss about azeotropes. Azeotropes. What are azeotropes? The mixture of two liquids having same composition in liquid and vapor phase and boil at a constant temperature are called azeotropes. Here I will write definition. The mixture of two liquids having same composition in liquid and vapor phase and boil at a constant temperature are called azeotropes. What are azeotropes? The mixture of two liquids having same composition in liquid and vapor phase and boil at a constant temperature are called azeotropes. Here, to understand definition of azeotropes, let us consider mixture of two liquids in a closed container. This is the closed container. It contains a mixture of two liquids, A liquid and B liquid. This is a liquid phase. Next, here at a given temperature, molecules of both liquids are converted into vapors. That's why this is a vapor phase. Here, if mixture of two liquids have same composition in liquid phase and vapor phase, then at a particular composition, these two liquids boil at a constant temperature. This type of mixtures are called azeotropes. Here, for example, let us consider the composition of these two liquids in liquid phase is 60 to 40. If composition of these two liquids in vapor phase is also 60 to 40, then at a particular composition, these two liquids boil at a constant temperature. That's why these type of mixtures are called azeotropes. Here in azeotropic mixture, due to same composition in liquid phase and vapor phase, here these liquids cannot be separated by fractional distillation. Here I will write that point. In azeotropic mixtures, the components cannot be separated. Separated by fractional distillation. This point is very important. Here in azeotropic mixture, the components, that means the liquids, cannot be separated by fractional distillation. Why we cannot separate them? Because due to same composition in liquid phase and vapor phase, we cannot separate them. Next, here at a particular composition, non-ideal solutions becomes azeotropes. At a particular composition, non-ideal solutions becomes azeotropes. Now let us take one example here. Example, the mixture of 95% ethanol and 5% water. This is the example for azeotropes. Here at this concentration, at this composition, the mixture of ethanol and water is example for azeotropes. Here, other than this composition, the mixture of ethanol and water is not azeotropic mixture. Only at this particular composition, only at 95% ethanol and 5% water, at this composition only the mixture of ethanol and water becomes a azeotropic mixture. Here, for example, 85% ethanol, 85% ethanol and 15% water. Here at this concentration, at this composition, the mixture of ethanol and water is not a azeotropic mixture. Only at this concentration, only at this composition, the mixture of ethanol and water is becomes azeotropes. Azeotropes. Now let us discuss about types of azeotropes. There are two types of azeotropes. One is minimum boiling azeotropes. The second one is maximum boiling azeotropes. Here, the first one is minimum boiling azeotropes. Minimum boiling azeotropes. Next, the second one is maximum boiling azeotropes. Maximum boiling azeotropes. These are the types of azeotropes. Now let us discuss one by one. First, let us discuss about minimum boiling azeotropes. Minimum boiling azeotropes. Here, what are minimum boiling azeotropes? The azeotropes which boils at lower temperature than boiling point of the components are called minimum boiling azeotropes. Minimum means the azeotropes they boil at a lower temperature than boiling point of the liquids or boiling point of the components. Here I will write definition. The azeotropes which boils at a lower temperature. At a lower temperature than the boiling point of components. Boiling point of the components are called minimum boiling azeotropes. For example, let us consider the mixture of 95% ethanol and 5% water. 95% ethanol and 5% water. Here, at this composition, the mixture of ethanol and water becomes azeotropes. See here, this mixture, the mixture of ethanol and water, it boils at 78.15 degrees Celsius. This is the boiling point of mixture. Now let us write a boiling point of water. The boiling point of water is 100 degrees Celsius. The boiling point of ethanol is 78.5 degrees Celsius. See here, the boiling point of mixture is less than boiling point of ethanol and boiling point of water. That's why this type of azeotropic mixtures are called minimum boiling azeotropes. What are minimum boiling azeotropes? The azeotropes which boils at a lower temperature than the boiling point of the components. That's why here this mixture boils at lower temperature. This mixture boils at 78.15 degrees Celsius. This boiling point is less than boiling point of ethanol and boiling point of water. Next, here minimum boiling azeotropes are formed by non-ideal solution which show positive deviation. At a particular composition, non-ideal solution which show positive deviation, they form minimum boiling azeotropes. Here I will write at a particular composition, non-ideal solution, a non-ideal solution with positive deviation. Forms minimum boiling azeotropes. azeotrophs. Now tell me which type of non-ideal solutions forms minimum boiling azeotrophs. The non-ideal solution which show positive deviations. Such type of non-ideal solutions forms minimum boiling azeotrophs at a particular composition. Next, let us discuss about maximum boiling azeotrophs. The second type of azeotroph is maximum boiling azeotrophs. What are maximum boiling azeotrophs? The azeotrophs which boils at higher temperature than the boiling point of components are called maximum boiling azeotrophs. Here I will write the azeotrophs which boils at higher temperature than the boiling point of the components are called maximum boiling azeotrophs. Now let us consider example here. Example: 68% nitric acid and 32% water. The mixture of 68% nitric acid and 32% water is example for maximum boiling azeotroph. Here at this composition, the mixture of nitric acid and water becomes azeotrophs. Here this mixture boils at 120 degrees Celsius. This mixture boil at 120 degrees Celsius. Now let us write boiling point of each component in this mixture. Here boiling point of water is 100 degrees Celsius and boiling point of nitric acid is 83 degrees Celsius. So here the boiling point of mixture is greater than boiling point of individual liquids. That's why this type of mixture is called maximum boiling azeotrophs. What are maximum boiling azeotrophs? The azeotrophs which boils at higher temperature than the boiling point of components. Here the mixture boiling point is greater than boiling point of nitric acid and boiling point of water. That's why this mixture is called maximum boiling azeotrophs. Next point here. Which type of non-ideal solution form maximum boiling azeotrophs? At a particular composition, the non-ideal solutions which show negative deviation, they form maximum boiling azeotrophs. Here I will write at a particular composition, non-ideal solutions with negative deviation forms maximum boiling azeotrophs. Okay, this is the maximum boiling azeotrophs. Now tell me which type of non-ideal solutions form minimum boiling azeotrophs. The non-ideal solution which show positive deviation. Such type of non-ideal solutions gives minimum boiling azeotrophs. Then now tell me which type of non-ideal solutions gives maximum boiling azeotrophs. The non-ideal solutions with negative deviation gives maximum boiling azeotrophs. Next, let us discuss about colligative properties of dilute solutions. Colligative properties of dilute solutions. First, let us discuss about what are colligative properties. The properties of dilute solutions which depends only on number of solute particles, not on nature of solute, are called colligative properties. Here I will write definition. What are colligative properties? The properties of dilute solutions. which depends only on which depends only on number of solute particles, and not on nature of solute. Are called colligative properties. Here, what are colligative properties? The properties of dilute solutions which depends only on number of solute particles and not on nature of solute are called colligative properties. Here mainly there are four types of colligative properties are there. Now I will write here four types of colligative properties. Here there are four important colligative properties are are the first one is relative lowering vapor pressure. Here it is represented by RLVP. Relative lowering vapor pressure. The second one is elevation in boiling point. Here, elevation in boiling point is also called as ebullioscopy. Next, the third one is depression in freezing point. Here, depression in freezing point is also called as cryoscopy. Next, the fourth one is osmotic pressure. These are the four important colligative properties. Now let us discuss one by one. First, let us discuss about relative lowering vapor pressure. Here, first let us discuss about lowering vapor pressure. Next, let us discuss about relative lowering vapor pressure. First, let us discuss about lowering vapor pressure. Here, to understand the lowering vapor pressure, let us consider a solution containing non-volatile solute in volatile solvent. Let us consider a solution containing non-volatile solute in volatile solvent. Here, now first let us consider pure volatile solvent in a closed container. This is the closed container. Here it contains only pure volatile solvent. Here pure volatile solvent is represented by A. Here, in case of pure volatile solvent, here liquid surface is occupied only by volatile molecules. It is occupied by only solvent molecules. That's why here large number of solvent molecules escape into vapor phase and they produce more vapor pressure. That's why here the vapor pressure of pure solvent is represented by P naught A. It is represented by P naught A. Now let us check what happens when non-volatile solute is added to volatile solvent. Here this is the container. Now initially it contains a pure solvent, that is A. When non-volatile solute is added to volatile solvent, then here what happens? Here the solution surface is occupied by non-volatile solute particles. It is occupied by non-volatile solute particles. That's why here what happens, less number of solvent molecules are escape into vapor phase. Only less number of solvent molecules escape into vapor phase and they produce less vapor pressure. Here the vapor pressure of solution is represented by PT, total vapor pressure of solution. Here the total vapor pressure of solution is equal to vapor pressure of solvent in the solution. Vapor pressure of solvent in the solution. Why? Because in this case, in case of non-volatile solute in volatile solvent, here the vapor pressure of solution is due to only solvent molecules. That's why here the total vapor pressure of solution is equal to vapor pressure of solvent in the solution. Here compared to P naught A and compared to PT, which is greater here? P naught A or PT is greater? P naught A is greater. Why? Because in case of pure volatile solvent, here more number of volatile molecules, more number of solvent molecules are escaping to vapor phase and they produce more vapor pressure. But in case of non-volatile solute, here the surface is occupied by non-volatile solute particles. That's why here less number of solvent molecules are escape into vapor phase and they produce less vapor pressure. That's why here the total vapor pressure of solution is always less than vapor pressure of pure solvent. Here I will write PT is always less than P naught A. This is called lowering vapor pressure. What is lowering vapor pressure? When non-volatile solute is added to volatile solvent, vapor pressure of solution decreases. That's why the vapor pressure of solution is always less than vapor pressure of pure volatile solvent. This is called lowering vapor pressure. Here I will write when a non-volatile solute is added to volatile solvent, then what happens here? The vapor pressure of solution decreases or the vapor pressure of solvent decreases. The vapor pressure of solution decreases. Therefore at a given temperature vapor pressure of solution is always lower than vapor pressure of pure solvent. Vapor pressure of solution is always lower than vapor pressure of pure solvent. Yeah, this is called lowering vapor pressure. Now here, what is the formula to calculate how much pressure is decreased? How much pressure is decreased? Now here, the change in vapor pressure, that means lowering vapor pressure. Lowering vapor pressure is denoted by delta P. Delta P means a change in pressure. How much vapor pressure is decreased when non-volatile solute is added to volatile solvent. To calculate the delta P, just we have to subtract these two values. Yeah, between these two values, which is a large value, P naught A is a large value. That's why you write first P naught A value minus PT value. By using this formula, we can easily calculate the lowering vapor pressure. That means how much vapor pressure is decreased when non-volatile solute is added to volatile solvent. Next, let us discuss about what is relative lowering of vapor pressure. Relative lowering of vapor pressure. Here, the lowering of vapor pressure is compared with the vapor pressure of pure solvent. That's why the ratio of lowering vapor pressure to vapor pressure of pure solvent is called the relative lowering of vapor pressure. What is the relative lowering of vapor pressure? The ratio of lowering of vapor pressure to vapor pressure of pure solvent. Vapor pressure of pure solvent is called the relative lowering of vapor pressure. Now let us write mathematical expression for relative lowering of vapor pressure. Relative lowering of vapor pressure is equal to lowering of vapor pressure. Lowering of vapor pressure is denoted by delta P. Delta P divided by vapor pressure of pure solvent. Here vapor pressure of pure solvent is denoted by P naught A. So you write here P naught A. Here what is the delta P? Delta P is equal to P naught A minus Pt. You write here P naught A minus Pt divided by P naught A. Here what is delta P? Change in pressure or lowering vapor pressure. Here what is P naught A? Vapor pressure of pure solvent. What is Pt? Vapor pressure of total solution. Next, here let us apply Raoult's law for relative lowering of vapor pressure. Raoult's law. Here, according to the Raoult's law, in a solution of non-volatile solute in volatile solvent, the relative lowering of vapor pressure is equal to mole fraction of solute in a dilute solution. Here, according to the Raoult's law, for relative lowering of vapor pressure in a solution containing non-volatile solute in volatile solvent, the relative lowering of vapor pressure is equal to mole fraction of solute in dilute solution. Here I will write, according to the Raoult's law, in a solution of non-volatile solute in volatile solvent, the relative lowering vapor pressure, the relative lowering of vapor pressure is equal to mole fraction of solute in dilute solution. This is the Raoult's law for relative lowering of vapor pressure. Here, the mole fraction of solute is denoted by what? It is the mole fraction of solute is denoted by Xb. Xb, because the non-volatile solute is represented by B. Now let us write mathematical expression for relative lowering vapor pressure according to the Raoult's law. Here, according to the Raoult's law, the relative lowering vapor pressure, this mathematical expression you write P naught A minus Pt is divided by P naught A is equal to mole fraction of solute in dilute solution. What is the mole fraction here? The mole fraction of dilute solution, mole fraction of solute in dilute solution is represented by Xb. Now let us write one more formula here, one more mathematical expression. P naught A minus Pt divided by P naught A is equal to. Now tell me what is the formula to calculate the mole fraction of B Here the particular component is what? B. That's why number of moles of B divided by total number of moles present in the solution. So Na plus Nb. This is the Raoult's law for relative lowering of vapor pressure. Let's discuss about determination of molar mass of solute from relative lowering of vapor pressure. Determination of molar mass of solute from relative lowering of vapor pressure. Here there is a small derivation to get formula to calculate molar mass of solute from relative lowering vapor pressure. Here first let us apply Raoult's law. Here according to the Raoult's law, the relative lowering of vapor pressure is equal to mole fraction of solute in dilute solution. Here we consider what? We consider dilute solutions. Now let us write this mathematical expression there. Here according to the Raoult's law, here the P naught A minus Pt divided by P naught A is equal to Nb divided by Nb plus Na. Okay, this is according to the Raoult's law. Now for dilute solution, the Na plus Nb is always equal to Na. Here for dilute solutions, here Na plus Nb is almost equal to Na. Why? Because for dilute solutions, very small amount of solute is present in the solvent. That's why in this case the Na plus Nb is almost equal to Na. Now just rearrange this equation here. Here the P naught A minus Pt divided by P naught A is equal to Nb divided by Na, because Nb plus Na is equal to almost Na. Now here what is Nb? What is the formula to calculate the number of moles here? What is the formula to calculate number of moles of B? Here B means what? Solute. Here so let us write here the given mass of B divided by molar mass of B. This is the formula to calculate number of moles of B. Now tell me what is the formula to calculate number of moles of A? To calculate number of moles of A, the formula is given mass of A divided by molar mass of A. You just substitute these two values in this equation. If you substitute in this equation, you will get like this: P naught A minus Pt divided by P naught A is equal to Nb means Wb divided by Mb divided by Wa divided by Ma. This is the next you just rearrange this equation. P naught A minus Pt divided by P naught A is equal to here Wb divided by Mb into Ma divided by Wa. Here what you have to calculate here? You have to calculate molar mass of solute. Here molar mass of solute. Solute is represented by what? B. Here what is the molar mass of B? Mb. So you just rearrange this equation. Mb is equal to, next here Mb is equal to Wb into Ma into P naught A divided by Wa into P naught A minus P. This is the formula to calculate molar mass of solute from relative lowering of vapor pressure. Here what is Mb? Molar mass of solute. What is Wb? Given mass of solute. And what is Wa? Given mass of solvent. And here what is P naught A? P naught A is means vapor pressure of pure solvent. It is vapor pressure of solution. What is P naught A? It is also vapor pressure of pure solvent. What is the Ma? Molecular mass of solvent. By using this formula, we can easily calculate molar mass of solute. This formula is very important. Definitely we will get one numerical from colligative properties. Next, let us solve some numericals on the basis of relative lowering of vapor pressure. Here the first question: the mole fraction of solvent in a dilute solution is 0.95. Then what is the relative lowering of vapor pressure? Here, according to the Raoult's law, the relative lowering of vapor pressure is equal to mole fraction of solute. Here let us write the relative lowering of vapor pressure is equal to mole fraction of solute. But in this question, the mole fraction of solute is not given. Mole fraction of solvent is given. By using mole fraction of solvent, we can easily calculate mole fraction of solute. Why? Because the sum of mole fraction of solute plus mole fraction of solvent is equal to 1. Just you rearrange this equation to calculate mole fraction of solute. Mole fraction of solute is equal to 1 minus mole fraction of solvent is equal to 1 minus 0.95 is equal to 0.05. This is the relative lowering of vapor pressure when the mole fraction of solvent is 0.95. Next, let us solve second question here. In the second question, among pure water and sea water, which has highest vapor pressure? Here, this is pure water, and here this is the sea water. Sea water means it is a mixture or it is a solution. Now we know that vapor pressure of solution is always lower than vapor pressure of pure solvent. That's why here between these two, which is highest vapor pressure? Pure solvent. That means pure water. The correct answer is pure water. Next, let us solve third numerical. In third numerical, the vapor pressure of pure benzene at certain temperature is 0.850 bar. A non-volatile, non-electrolyte solid weighing 0.5 gram when added to 39 gram of benzene. Here the molecular mass of benzene is given. Vapor pressure of solution, then it is 0.845 bar. Then what is the molar mass of solid substance? Here you need to calculate the molar mass of solid substance. Here now first let us write the given data here. Solution. Here the vapor pressure of pure benzene is given. What is the vapor pressure of pure benzene? Here the vapor pressure of pure benzene is denoted by P naught A. P naught A is given. What is the P naught A? P naught A is equal to 0.850 bar. Next here, non-electrolyte solid weight. Here non-electrolyte, that means what is non-volatile solute. Non-volatile solute mass is given. Here non-volatile is denoted by what? It is denoted by B. That's why WB is equal to 0.5 grams. Next, when it is added to 39 gram of benzene. Here benzene is what? Solvent. Here solvent is denoted by what? It is denoted by A. So here mass of solvent is given. What is the mass of solvent here? The mass of solvent is equal to 39 grams. Next, and here the molecular mass of benzene is also given. The molecular mass of A is equal to 78 gram per mole. Next, the vapor pressure of solution is 0.845 bar. Here PT is also given. The PT is equal to 0.845 bar. Now, by using this data, we have to calculate molar mass of solid substance. Molar mass of solid substance. Now, what is the formula to calculate molar mass of solid substance? This is the formula. Just you write this formula here. Molar mass of solid substance is equal to WB into MA into P naught A divided by WA next into P naught A minus P. Just you substitute these values here. If you what is WB? Here what is WB? 0.5 gram into what is MA? Molar mass of solvent is 78 gram per mole. Next into what is P naught A? P naught A means what? It is the vapor pressure of pure solvent. Here what is the solvent here? Benzene. What is the vapor pressure of pure solvent? 0.85 bar. Next divide by here what is the WA? weight of solvent. What is the weight of solvent is given 39 gram. Next into what is P naught A? P naught A is 0.85 bar. Minus what is PT? What is the total vapor pressure here? 0.854 bar. Just you simplify this one. If you simplify this one, nearly you will get 170 gram per mole. This is the molecular mass of solute or molar mass of solid substance. In this way, we have to calculate molar mass of solute. Next, let us solve fourth numerical. In fourth numerical, vapor pressure of water at 293 Kelvin is 17.535 millimeter of mercury. Then calculate the vapor pressure of water at 293 Kelvin when 25 gram of glucose is dissolved in 450 gram of water. Here to solve this question, first we have to write the given data. Solution. Here the vapor pressure of water, the vapor pressure of pure water is given. Here water is what? Solvent. Here what is the solute? Here the glucose is solute. Water is solvent. So here the P naught A value is given. The P naught A is equal to 17.535 millimeter of mercury. This is the vapor pressure of pure water. Next, what he is asking here? What he is asking to calculate here? Vapor pressure of water at 293 Kelvin when 25 gram of glucose is dissolved in 450 gram of water. That means he is asking to calculate vapor pressure of water in solution. The vapor pressure of water in solution is equal to vapor pressure of solution. That means he is asking to calculate total vapor pressure of solution. And also he has given the mass of glucose. Here the mass of glucose, that means mass of solute, is denoted by WB. WB. The WB is equal to 25 gram. Then what is the molecular mass of solute here? What is the molecular mass of glucose? Here the molecular mass of glucose is 180 gram. 180 gram per mole. 180 gram per mole. Next, here the mass of water, the mass of solvent is also given. The mass of solvent is denoted by WA. WA is equal to 450 gram. Next, what is the molecular mass of solvent? Here solvent means water. The molecular mass of solvent is equal to 18 gram per mole. This is the given data. Now let us apply Raoult's law. According to the Raoult's law, the relative lowering of vapor pressure is equal to mole fraction of solute. It is equal to mole fraction of solute. Now let us write formula here. Here P naught A minus PT divided by P naught A is equal to mole fraction of solute. That means NB divided by Na plus NB. Here number of moles of B is not given, number of moles of A is also not given. Here you need to calculate number of moles of B. B means what? Solute, and number of moles of solvent. Now let us calculate here. The first one, number of moles of B. Number of moles of B means what? Solute. Solute means what? Glucose. Here number of moles of glucose is equal to given mass of glucose divided by molecular mass of glucose. Here what is the given mass here? 25 gram divided by 180. Then you will get 0.139. This is the number of moles of glucose. Next, similarly you calculate number of moles of solvent, water. Here same, similarly given mass. What is the given mass of water here? The given mass is 450 gram divided by, what is the molecular mass here? 18 gram per mole. Here gram get cancelled, then finally we will get in moles. Here 450 divided by 18, then we will get 25 moles. This is the number of moles of water or number of moles of solvent. It is number of moles of solute. Now you substitute these values here, and already we know that P naught A value, PT value and P naught A value. Here you need to calculate what? PT value. Just you substitute here. Now I will substitute here P naught A. Here I will write, here I will substitute. What is the P naught A? P naught A means 17.535 millimeter of mercury minus PT. Here PT value is not given. We have to calculate the PT value. That's why divide by P naught A 17.535 millimeter of mercury is equal to, here NB means what? Number of moles of B is equal to 0.139 divided by Na. Na means 25 plus 0.139. Now you just simplify this one here. 17.535 millimeter of mercury minus PT is equal to, you just send this value from here to here, 0.139 into 17.535 millimeter of mercury. Next just you add these two. If you add these two, you will get 25.139. Next again you simplify this one. Just you multiply these all values and divide with this value. 17.535 millimeter of mercury minus PT is equal to, then if you simplify this one, you will get 0.097. Next just you rearrange this equation. PT is equal to 17.535 minus 0.097. Then PT is equal to 17.44 millimeter of mercury. This is the vapor pressure of water at 293 Kelvin temperature when 25 gram of glucose is dissolved in 450 gram of water. Very simple. Just here you need to remember formulas. This is one formula and this is the second formula. Just you practice these formulas. Okay, we will continue in next class. Thank you.